Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming to you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. And we're coming to you tonight with the show that's really fine and truly divine. Coming all the way from the land of Ethiopia. Tonight we're continuing to read the story of Kaldi and the Dancing Goats, or the legend of coffee, or the legend of Ethiopian coffee. Ethiopian coffee is the, what's the word for it? Is the epicenter from which coffee traveled all out across the globe and into the most private boardrooms, as well as into the most public cafeterias, etc. Matter of fact, if you listen, you hear the word cafeteria. Cafe is in the name. So every time you go to the cafeteria, you're recalling the ancient empire of Ethiopia, the home of coffee. So before we get to the story, we got a few things we need to do. Number one, you know the routine. If you are watching this on Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And of course, always, always, always spread the word far and wide, up and down through the land about Black Facts and what we're trying to accomplish over here. Because you are a partner in this whole operation. A silent partner sometimes, most of the time. A volunteer partner, but a partner yet and still. So let's go ahead and do our proverb of the day. And I noticed yesterday when I was looking here in the book that there is another coffee saying from the Oromo people. And they say it, hopefully I get this correct, Bunafi Naga Hinabina. May you not lack coffee and peace. In other words, peace with justice. I know what that's saying. Bunafi Naga Hinabina. Or Bunafi Naga Hinabina. Because Buna, that is coffee. All right? That's an Ethiopian word for coffee. All right. So let's go ahead and continue to read our story. Last night, we left off with, is that Kaldi? That didn't look like Kaldi. I guess it is Kaldi. That's Kaldi, but his head is wrapped up. It didn't look like Kaldi there for a minute. So Kaldi had been following the goats to see what did they do and what was it that was causing them to act so strangely and begin to dance around, because he had never seen dancing goats before. Have you? Me either. So let's go ahead and see what happens next. The next day, long before dawn, long before even the red roosters had crowed, Kaldi woke up again as usual, did all his usual chores, and collected the goats from his father's compound. As usual, he herded the goats through the village, along the rough, dusty road, and up the steep, dusty trail, until they finally reached the bright green pastures full of bright green grasses and bright green bushes. Then Kaldi closely watched that peculiar billy goat, the one with the peculiarly long billy goat beard and with the peculiarly long billy goat horns. Kaldi watched it, and he watched it, and he watched it, and he watched it some more. And he followed it everywhere it went, for he was determined to find out what had made that billy goat dance. Kaldi watched and followed, and followed and watched, but nothing much happened. He sat beneath a fig tree for a short rest. Soon his gaze wandered far off across the fields to the distant highlands beyond and out into the clear blue Ethiopian sky. And soon, because he had been awake long before dawn, long before even the red roosters had crowed, he felt a bit drowsy, and then he began again to dream his dreams that weren't really dreams, it seems. With his eyes wide open, Caldy dreamt. With his eyes wide open, Caldy dreamt about bright stars dangling like red rubies in the beautiful Ethiopian sky. After some time, Caldy awoke from his dreams. That weren't really dreams, and saw that the peculiar goat, or billy goat, the one with the peculiarly long billy goat beard and the peculiarly long billy goat horns, had strayed far away from the other goats. It was far off in the distance, now nibbling on some bright red berries, which looked just like the stars that dangled like the bright red rubies of his dreams. And then Caldy soon saw that the other goats had joined that peculiar billy goat, and that they too were nibbling on the bright red ripe berries. Suddenly, as if in a dream, all the goats were dancing. They twirled about in circles, making wild moves and gesticulations. They twirled and hopped and bopped around and down and all around with wild, playful energy. Caldy rubbed his eyes and closed them and opened them again, and then did this several times more, for perhaps he was still dreaming. For whoever heard of an entire herd of dancing, head dancing, herd of arching, who ever heard of an entire group of dancing ghosts? But when he opened his eyes again, which in fact had been opened all along, the goats were still there, happily dancing and twirling and swirling amidst the bright red ripe berries dangling from the bright green bushes. And he felt like dancing, 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 because he was just a dancing machine. And so Caldy danced and danced all the way home, hopping and bopping along with the dancing goats, twirling and swirling and playing his flute. Through the bright green grassy pastures and winding roads to the village. He danced and danced and danced. That night, beneath the bright stars which seemed to dangle like red ripe berries in the beautiful blue-black Ethiopian sky, Caldy told his father the tale of the dancing goats. And then he stretched forth his hand and offered his father some of the bright red berries. His father gently nibbled on the red ripe berries. Slowly, a strange and wonderful feeling spread throughout his old, tired body. He felt warmed all over from the inside out and felt suddenly younger and full of energy. And even though he was indeed a very old man, he almost felt like dancing. And then because the red ripe berries kept him wide awake and full of energy, Kaldi and his father talked and talked long into the beautiful blue-black Ethiopian night beneath the ruby red Ethiopian stars and made their plans. For Kaldi's father, being very old and very wise indeed, could immediately see that these ripe berries were just as valuable as the bright red rubies of Kaldi's dreams. Yep, she had a dream. Mm-hmm. Mm. So I just had to do that. A little bit parts today. Oh, I got another page to go. There we go. Whoops. Hey, what happened? Hmm. Hmm. Wonder if I skipped a page here. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Did skip a page. Ah, there we go. That was the page I was trying to get to. All right, now. Soon, Kaldi and his father shared these bright red ripe berries with the people of their village, who nibbled and nibbled on them, and the fame of these berries soon spread throughout the entire region of Kaffa. Kaffa. As time passed, the people of the Kaffa region seemed to be filled with more and more energy. Their usual chores didn't seem to be so usual anymore, and everyone seemed to talk and laugh and dance more and more. Naturally, Kaldi charged a small fee for these bright red ripe berries, for his father was indeed very old and very wise, and had indeed advised him well. And soon, of course, Kaldi became as wise as a respected and as respected as his father. Kaldi was soon able to purchase some goats for himself. Even hmm, as I said, Kaldi was soon able to purchase some goats for himself, more goats than even his father had, and his father was indeed very proud of Kaldi. Eventually, skipping pages here. Eventually, Kaldi got married, and his wife gave birth to a son, whom they called Little Kaldi. Little Kaldi. All of Kaldi's dreams had now come true. Wow, look at them standing there in their wedding outfits. When little Kaldi was old enough to help with the chores, Kaldi would wake him up long before dawn, long before even the red roosters had crowed. Together they would collect the goats from the compound and herd them through the village, along the long and winding road and up the steep and winding trail until they finally reached the bright green fields. Nope, on the right page. Until they reached the bright green fields. Oh, no, I only copied every other page, so some pages are missing. Until they reached the bright green fields full of bright green grasses. Together they would sit beneath the shade of a fig tree, idly playing their flutes, and gaze far away across the fields to the distant highlands beyond, where they could watch the goats happily dancing beneath the clear blue Ethiopian sky. After many, many years, it's like another page is missing here. Oh, I see. Okay. After many, many years, the people of Kaffa took their Kaffa bush with its dangling red ripe berries to other parts of Ethiopia, to Yidgak, Chafé, and Harad, And from there, it spread to Yemen and other countries in the Middle East. And from the Middle East, it spread to other countries all around the world, from Java to Brazil, from Guatemala to Indonesia, from Sri Lanka to Venezuela, and to many countries near and far, beyond and between. And now, until this very day, many centuries after Khaldi the Dreamer first discovered the dancing goats and the energetic qualities of those bright, red, ripe coffee berries, the Kaffa region of Ethiopia is still famous for its rich, aromatic coffee. For that is where many people believe coffee gets its name, from the Kaffa region of Ethiopia. People all around the world enjoyed the invigorating and energetic qualities of coffee and soon began to prepare and serve the bright red ripe coffee berries in many different ways, by drying them and roasting them, and by boiling them in water and adding sugar and salt or milk or sweet spices like cinnamon, cloves, and cardamom to remove the bitter taste. And that is the legend of how coffee was first discovered in Ethiopia and how it spread far and beyond Ethiopia, all around the world. Even to this day, people in Ethiopia enjoy coffee at home or in cafes with family and friends and perform elaborate coffee ceremonies that last a long, long time. And that, my friends, is the story of coffee and how coffee first started out in the highlands of Ethiopia and who discovered it and how they discovered it. And then it began to move all around the world until today. Everybody drinks coffee. They drink it in Turkey. They drink it in Arabia. They drink it. The Queen of England drinks coffee, and so does the President of the USA. People drink it at Starbucks. The doctors, the nurses, the lawyers, the tax collectors, every last one of them, they all drink coffee. Even Matt Dillon even drinks coffee. And John Wayne, he's been known to down some himself. Well, that's all for tonight. I hope that's making you feel right and not too uptight, because our goal is just to help you take flight. Except for you youngins, you know what I need you to do. Take your little head, put it on your little pillow, on your little bed, and close those your eyes, and wait for that sun to rise. And when it does, you'll be able to rise above each and every time. In the meanwhile, you adults out there, you know what we need you to do. Number one, give us a like if you're watching on Facebook. Number two, give us a thumbs up if you're watching us on the tube. And last but not least, go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel so you can be notified and when we're coming on, instead of being mogrified when you find out that you missed us. Peace, at least, of course, with justice, because anything less disgusts us. We're going to our extra. Gotta do the extra.